Alright, so now it's just me. Shell's not feeling great, and honestly, roguelikes with this story are really cool, and I love the idea of them, but there's always kind of that weird doldrums where the roguelike aspect of it takes over and the story aspects kind of takes a back seat. I think we're solidly at that point, but I'm not even sure if I'd call it the roguelike aspect is taking over. Like, it's something. What is this? Key liquefier. Carried keys into max integrity. That could either be really good or absolute trash, and I'm not sure. Oh, really? This room? Okay. Sure. Nothing to fight me in here. Though, curiously, we're going to end up with some critters that want to fight me, and I'm a little worried they're going to ambush me in here. This place is not the most comfortable of fighting locations. I've definitely recorded this location, right? Gosh, I have no idea. Playing this game is blended together for me a little bit in maybe a bit of a bad way. I'm going the wrong way. There we go. It's weird. It's like a mixture between a gambler's fallacy, a ton of fun. Boy, you know how I said I was going to get ambushed here and it was going to be bad? Here we go. Ow. I was too busy watching those guys. I didn't notice these. Shoot. Yeah, the problem is I'm kind of stuck in here. And they're absolutely going to start shooting at me the moment I pop out. I guess I'm just going to have to go the other way instead. Because there's no good way I'm going to be able to get at them where I am. So let's not. Oh, this is fun. Okay. I gotta take care of the turrets first. There we go. Clear distance. Because this is gonna get messy otherwise. Wow. Actually managed to pull that off. Okay, not so much on this one. But that's okay. We want to clear that turret. Jesus. The amount of these dudes that are just hanging out here is freaking stinky. Okay. There we go. And then there was just you. And maybe like a handful of other turrets. That wasn't actually so bad. I'm definitely getting better at this game, but like we kind of knew that. Like, last run almost got us a W. If it wasn't for big man on Krampus just wrecking my face. I think it's really that the really high-end special enemies in this game are the ones that wreck me the most. In a very negative way. In a way that is difficult to deal with. The damage output on them is just so much above and beyond anything else that this game has to throw at me. And they're kind of infrequent, so I don't actually run into them that much. Oh, but no, I was talking about this being this like weird gambler's fallacy, paradox, fallacy, I think, is the phrase. The idea that maybe this... Son of a butt. You know, the idea of maybe this time. Oh, that actually maybe had a shield or something? I don't know. I'm not going to try and go for it. I'd like to arrest my speed right there. To get onto the ledge and just, you know, skip falling into the hole and having to run up this entire thing. This is kind of inconvenient, but it's not worth taking damage over. I hate everything. Okay, so, with most roguelikes, I just play them with the idea of like, man, I'm gonna play this to have fun. But I find the inclusion of a story in this actually makes it much harder. I'm just gonna try that. We need extra funds and I can sell it off pretty easily. We'll have to see. Oh. That's new. The modified sidearm didn't used to have... Oh no, it still has perks. We just had a lot of overload projectiles coming off of it for this gun. I was wondering about that. One thing I really wish this game had was that the starting pistol came with the perks. I should probably also mention this is a new gun. I don't know if I've shown it off yet. It's the Coil Spine Shredder. I've been playing this a little bit on my own to practice. So, Coil Spine Shredder, the railgun. Is it a good railgun? I don't know. Well, on one hand, that's an amazing item. I'm glad to have it. On the other hand, collecting 4 resin is not going to be easy. I'm probably going to have to go for the malignant stuff. Maybe. Well, let's see, what do we got over here? Oh, this is resin. Let's see if it... You know what? Let's not wreck ourselves further than we already have. Okay. Gosh, yeah. 4 resin, cooldown, dash cooldown by 4 seconds. That's like actually the worst one to have picked up. Well, there's another. Oh, I do have a key. Okay, so we can pop in here. No idea if it's any good. But so, the inclusion of a story... Oh, well, this works incredibly well for me. I'll take it. Speaking of taking it. Hello, give me money. Oh, I just deleted one of my resin. You know what? That's fine. I'll live with that. As far as, like, negative penalties goes, I don't know. I guess, like I said, I was playing this a little bit on my own just to, practice, but also to level up my guns. Okay, so back to Gambler's Fallacy comboed with this game. I think that's something I want to talk about in greater detail at some point, but I might as well talk about it here for starters. But the idea of, for most roguelikes, you just load it up, you have fun with a couple of runs, and then that's it. There's only a couple of roguelikes that I've ever played that actually... Hello? It's a music box diorama thing. Plays a sound when near secret locations. Now I'm starting to second guess on... Have I been not finding secret locations this entire time? I should probably actually figure out where they are, because there aren't a whole lot of map chunks here. And so actually knowing where they are might come in, like, massively handy? We'll see. But anyway, roguelikes with story progression are kind of few and far between. There's Hades. I do not like this gun, but I don't have much of a choice. Okay, there we go. It just doesn't fire very fast at all. Makes it kind of stinky. But so, there's Hades, there's... I'm actually going to say Binding of Isaac. There's... Oh, geez, I'm trying to think of other really notable roguelikes with, like, heavy story elements. Kind of sort of Curse of the Dead Gods. Effectively roguelikes where you don't just play them, you're pursuing a direct goal. I guess Dead Space. Dead Space would be another good example, and maybe I can broaden it out a lot more, because now that I'm thinking about it, you know, you have Covenant rankings, or Ascension systems, or so on and so forth. The idea that when you're playing a roguelike, you're not just playing kind of for the fun of it, but you're playing for like an overarching goal that might not necessarily be easily within your reach, and so you play multiple runs in hopes. Oh. That's the secret area. I think. Okay. But you do run after run after run, hoping to make some level of progression. It reminds me a lot of when I was playing MMOs back in the day, where I'd do run after run after run in hopes of getting whatever the MacGuffin was. I mean, honestly, almost always it was some rare drop item or finally beating the boss within the constraints of, you know, our usual raid hours or something like that. But, you know, doing this action over and over and over again in hopes of getting a boon or progression or a story element or a rare item or so on and so forth. And I think I don't like it. And some people have already called me out on this one, that I am potentially needlessly critical. Ah, that's what that does. I've always wondered what happens when they actually look at you. Not a big deal, honestly. I mean, yeah, damage, but... Progenitor egg. Attaching or detaching parasites restores integrity. I love that, especially because we can detach them fairly comfortably. We've got two different places on the map. The one at the very end, and that room we already found. Like I said, healing is actually surprisingly easy. It's just a matter of not getting hit in combat. Spoiled resin. There we go. I'm really curious if the spoiled resins count against the collect resin bonus. I hope so. But that I feel so much less stressed when I'm playing a roguelike where there's no real sense of, like, I need to accomplish X goal. It's a lot more fun when you just kind of load the roguelike up and you just say, that's it for the run? Okay. Didn't quite get it. It's fine. Oh, that's fun. Ow. Yeah, I don't like this gun at all. I'm curious to see what upgrades. Oh, well, that's one way to... Ow. That's putting me in a bad spot. There we go. Okay. Key liquefier, kinetic siphon, oblite siphon. Okay. The kinetic siphon would probably be the most useful one. Curious about twin discs. I want to upgrade this weapon and see where it goes. But it's kind of more fun just playing it and seeing how far you can go without the kind of idea of, like, I need to beat this. Especially for, like, the harder roguelikes. I saw a comment, somebody was talking about this a little bit, that hard games... I'm going to paraphrase hard because I read, like, hundreds of comments in a given day. I do read comments, by the way. I see you there. And I appreciate most of you. Some of you not so much. But... That's a nice heal. But somebody had said that hard games are a balancing act, effectively. Okay, that did get rid of it, but immediately get the same malfunction. At least this time I just have to get cash. That's going to be a lot easier, considering what we're currently looking at. But it's a balancing act that for easy games, bugs, crashes, weird design choices, so on and so forth, they don't ruin the game as much because it doesn't matter. You only get kicked back maybe a couple of feet, a save, you know, maybe the beginning of the boss fight, and that's it, and you just pick yourself up off the ground, and you roll from there. Apparently this is unlocked by getting the melee upgrade in the shop. never paid attention to it, because I knew I had opened that up before. I just didn't know how or why. Oh, this is fortuitous. Ow. Oh, that'll kill me if I keep doing that. So let's not do that. At least we got rid of the malfunction. Oh, well, I'm dead. Oh, no, never mind. Thank you, astronaut. You caused me to get into this mess, and I guess you saved my butt. Look, I'm not here. I haven't played this game in a while. Okay, there we go. What else we got in here? One more sucker. I tried using my weapon move. Oop. I really wish they wouldn't do the purple thing. Gosh, I hate the purple shots. I almost feel like purple shots should be undodgeable but destroyable using your like you can shoot them out of the sky. As kind of a counterpoint of like, yeah, you can't dodge this, but you can get rid of them in a way. Be a nice thing. Of course they're not going to do that. This game is too hardcore for that kind of behavior. Let's see. Wait for that to go back. I have no idea if I actually need to be afraid of these. Ooh. That's a decent amount of integrity gain, actually. Or regain health? I don't know. It's not like it's max integrity. I'll take what I can get. Perform melee kills. Is that actually a secret over there? No, I already got this one. There's a sound like there's another secret, maybe. That certainly looks like it would be a secret. If it was one. Here we go. Wondering about that. Hey! This is good stuff. Okay. So I really do not like the Coil Spine Shredder. But I want to focus on our weapons that I can upgrade something. So returning damage is good. This has nothing new for me to level up. And this has an enlarged chamber. Let's go with that. Oh, that hurts me? Alright. Of course it would. It did say me. It did say that that's exactly what was going to happen. I'm still trying to kind of explain why it's weirdly limiting to have the idea of like an end goal when playing a roguelike. But I think you always had it. I think it's just the fact that this one is such a trial in comparison to so many other... Oh, right, we were talking about balancing acts and whatnot. That, yeah, this game... And all hard games are a balancing act. The reason why the Dark Souls games are generally so good is because they're incredibly well balanced. Like, there's not a whole lot of feeling of, like, that was BS. There's a couple of moments where you're just like, holy shit, that was terrible. But otherwise, Dark Souls, hard but fair. It lives that creed. And does a bang-up job of it. Okay, so I usually just have to check these. I'm actually going to grab Execution Blast, seeing as I have to kill a couple of critters anyway. I really want to get the adrenaline healing, even though actually getting adrenaline and keeping it is a little tougher in Act 2. Having that is huge. That certainly didn't work. Well, you're uncomfortable to hold. I'm pretty sure that's my attack, too. Okay. Oh, right, this is the Electro Web weapon. I believe the Electro Web is also one of the DLC items. I stand by the idea that the the deluxe edition weaponry in this game is just like actually better. I don't know if it was intentional to make it better, but like, holy shit, is it strong. But I still gotta get some melee kills. That's gonna be tough to work around. Oh, that's a big heal. I'll ignore that for now. But so, when you have a game that has weird or questionable design decisions, bugs, let's see, spoiled resin, bugs, crashes, just strange bits across the board, the more a game suffers from that kind of thing. Greatly reduces max integrity on detached. See, if that just hurt me, I'd be fine with it, but the fact that it actually reduces my max health is a big no. Let's just pick that up. Ah, healing yourself does not cost. Oh, there's another item in the corner. Nah, this is malignant. Well, nothing to do with that. But so, I think part of the reason why I find myself at odds with this game is because Ooh, rising pitch. Maybe. I want to stick with the pylon driver, to be honest. Suffer damage when using keys. Joke's on you. I think I've used all the keys that I can on this map. Though, I hear a sound effect like there might be another secret in this area. If so, that's wild. I found like a billion secrets already today, and I'm not sure if it was necessarily a good idea. Oh. But that, you know, I find myself at odds with this game because it has that weird imbalance, those small problems and inconsistencies that hold it back, but cause the experience to become rough. Ah, key destroyed. Well, joke's on you. I don't want to use them anyway. I guess I probably should have just used the item that converts keys over. Yeah, the key liquefier. Well, I can't use it anyway. I'm not seeing a secret around here, so if it did exist, I've lost it. Unless it's, pie. Excuse me, resin? Thank you. Maybe there's more than that. But I think we're good for... Okay, so I've got to kill a number of these suckers in melee. Alright, so I'm gonna hang out in here, where shit isn't as spooky. Oh. There we go. I gotta kill 12 of these guys. Nah, took damage on that one. That's okay. It's only a smidge. And I'm definitively getting stronger at this point. There we go. Did I get it yet? Nah. There's an artifact you can get at some point here that's amazing. That is... getting rid of malfunctions gives you maximum health. And there's another one that makes it so it heals you, too. Getting all of those is goof strong, and I want it. Full integrity, reduce weapon damage. Joke's on you, I'm never at full integrity because I take a lot of damage. Aha! Let's see, ground surge. I don't use it enough anyway. Ow. Vaguely worth it. That's the extra lives. Ha. Joke's on you, I'm expecting to die. Also, if I need one of those here. Yeah, I can't necessarily tell if there's a secret in this area. And so in terms of like the rough edges and whatnot, it actually does seem like they're fixing it, which is nice. But I think that's actually incredibly important in terms of this game's overall. Ooh, that's like kind of good. That's pretty good. Now, do I... Right. Do I throw myself into Battle Room, or do we leave that for later? I'm kind of wounded, so let's leave that for later for now. I like Battle Room, but it almost always has one of those big dudes. You know, the ones that absolutely just destroy me. Okay, you know how I left a bunch of healing items back behind? Let's go grab them. I was hoping I would take slightly less damage than that. But I did not. Okay. Let's check the map. Where was it? Hang a right here. I know there's a couple of healing items in this specific room, but there was a big healer in the bonus room out this direction. And that's a little bit more valuable for me. But yeah, it does actually seem like they've been working kind of hard at smoothing out a lot of the problems. Maybe? Maybe not. I don't know. At least they've been patching the game. I have no idea if they're going to add the save system. And I think truly that's going to remain top of my list. Even though I guess I personally don't give much of a dang. No, screw it. Let's do this now. That's rude. Okay. Skip you for a hot second. Get you with the electro pylons. Everything is good. Boy, for a brief second. Oh boy. We got one of those guys. Have fun with the electro pylon. Okay, there goes two. Big issue is I do a lot of damage over time. Whoa. And that makes this guy a little bit tougher to contend with. A little bit tougher. Not tremendously so. Then there's Big Bad Boss Man. Wait that for a hot second. Okay, get the other one. There we go. Okay. No other enemies. Just leaps a lot. And I'm gonna say I've gotten reasonably better. Reasonably better, but not actually that much better at fighting them. Wow, that sucked. Yeah, pop out right. Right as everything goes bad. A lot more damage than you ought to. Okay. Stay the hell away from him, and we're good. Okay, so what do we get? We do get a Hollow Seeker, but the problem is the Hollow Seeker doesn't have anything to upgrade. And that's the thing. I'm looking for the upgrades. It's the only meta progression I have. Oh. There we go. So we just converted one of our little guys, one of our parasites. Now this one does have explosive spit. I will say, I'm not a big fan of the spit maw. Mainly because we never got the slugshot upgrade for it. And that's kind of the one we need. The shotgun's actually way better than I gave it credit for. Yeah. You know, that's not actually a problem. Okay, let's see. We've seen the weapons. Are you a resin or are you... Yeah, you're a resin. Perfect. Works for me. Brain. Ooh. I am at maximum vitality, so for lucky... Yeah, if we're lucky, the Electro Web will help tremendously. That one's actually really good. Music box destroyed. I don't know. Mixed on that one. I'm just here to grab everything. Risk, reward, doesn't matter to me. Let's see, anything else? Nope, I think we're good. Alright, so let's quick swing by, snag that. Heal up, feel good about self. We cleared this room relatively well. Could have been better. We've lost an amount of perks and upgrades. What if we could actually stack multiple, What if we could stack multiple astronauts? That's a question. Now I'm pretty sure these lights are just to determine, like, you don't want to go there. Yeah. Alright. What are we looking at next? 4 point over there. Bonus room over here. Oh, man, what am I thinking? I don't know. There's so many points I want to make about this game. The problem is the game doesn't really want to let you. Ooh, protection by an amount. Yes. Please. That alone will save me. One other thing that I've observed that's been really helpful, pure and simply, is breaking eggs. Previously, I was not particularly obsessive. You know, I'd break a couple of them. Now that I know that they actually have parasites, money, healing, resins, spoils or otherwise, it's like, oh, yeah. I actually really do want to pop these open. I want to pop all of them open. Now, I guess one thing I should probably respond to, seeing as... Alright, there we go. Yeah, the simultaneous kills is not actually half bad. People were talking as kind of like a rebuttal to me about the length. Is there actually anything down? Yeah, if I drop down right here, there is like a location. Looks like there's some upper platforms that I could potentially get to by dropping down. But I don't see any treasure there, so I don't think I'm going to bother with it. Maybe there was like a secret room, but... but people are saying that you could actually bypass the length of this by skipping all of the... Oh, shit. Alright. What's up, buddy boy? Oh, no, it's one of these guys. Here? Okay. I mean, at least this one is relatively not aggressive. See, that's the spooky part. When they do the nothing personal kid, my finger's never quite on the dodge button. And I don't know where he's at, and that scares me. Does help that I've got some nice perks. Okay. The damage over time on this gun is good. I don't actually know if it does more damage, but it's very much a set it and forget it kind of weapon. Okay, resin and carbine. Rising pitch is pretty good. Let's snag it on the way out, if I can. Okay. Let's grab this. It's actually worth it. Let's see. But yeah, so to counteract the length, what you can do for this game is actually you can just skip these segments. Like I don't have to do any of this. I could have just went for the red door, taken the teleporter straight to the underwater zone and gone from there. I don't know how to feel about that. On one hand, it makes sense. It's a decent way of counterbalancing the length of a run. On the other hand, I don't like skipping games. Like, skipping content in games. And I realize it's like, yeah, but you're skipping the repetition of an area you've already been to. Which is valid, and it's part of the reason why I'm kind of, like, confused on this one and, like, don't know how to think about it. Because specifically, on my end, I guess is, like, I'd say a fairly avid aficionado of roguelikes. I almost never skip anything. Like, whenever I play Binding of Isaac, it's not like I'm going to skip a room just because it doesn't lead to the item room. I'll go there, regardless of whether or not it's actually worth my time. I will still go there because it just feels like I should, and that by skipping that, I'm somehow... I'm not going to say I am denying part of what makes the game good, but it feels odd to do so. Last Shell does have phasing rounds, which we do want to pick up. Yeah, the problem is I have all these guns that I want to level, but they level very slowly, so it's like, I don't know. But it just feels odd to skip something that a developer made. Especially within a roguelike, because at that point, I'd be spending more of my time trying to skip ahead than actually playing the game. Kind of? I don't know. It just feels odd for a roguelike to have whole zones be redundant for the sake of brevity. There we go. Even though, yeah, it does make perfect sense. And the more I think about it, I'm like, yeah, this is a solution. I'm just not sure if it's a good one. Because the flip side is also very much that, like, the more you skip, the less power-ups you get, the weaker you're going to be. And it's like, you might get the big proficiency bonuses, but, like, gosh, the thing I need the most is, like, maximum health and the artifacts. Increase speed and weapon damage by 25% for the next 15 kills. 2 malfunctions on detach. Eek. If I had the one that gave me max integrity on malfunction clearing, sure, 100%. But I don't, so I think I'm going to avoid that. And also, it's kind of one of those where it's like, the more you skip, the less identity a run gets to have. Like, I firmly believe roguelikes shine greatest when they are, when you have, like, a unique build and an identity behind it. I don't know if you guys have been watching my Ring of Pain videos that I've been putting out concurrently with this series, but one of my favorite items I feature probably way too often, but it's the It's the underwear on head item. Whatever that one's actually called. And it's a stupid item that effectively inverts the speed in the game. So whoever has the lowest speed goes first. And since most enemies are kind of arm racing the player for, you know, who can be the fastest to hit the hardest. Okay. This could backfire. Big emphasis on could. Get webbed, sucker. Okay, I'm just gonna keep my distance for a hot second. Oh, that's not an enemy. That's the enemy. Got it. Okay, there we go. There we go. Alright. So we've got a large chamber, and this has explosive shards. Yeah, I'll pick it up. I know I said I had some other weapons I don't want to pick up too, but this one's just as valid. Oh, that's... Roguelite Cedar. You know, I should probably pop both of those the next time I get into a battle room of any variety. But like, whenever I get the underwear on head in Ring of Pain, it sets the theme of the run. And admittedly, many of the underwear on head runs kind of all blend together. But it lets me toy around with my stats a little bit more because I actively can use speed as a dump stat. Whereas normally, you really want to put some points in so you're not just getting clobbered. And I love that about the game, because there's always this feeling of identity. Every time you play it, you come away kind of with this idea of like, I'm going to remember this run. Maybe I'm not going to remember it in full detail, but I remember the feeling, the theme, the idea of it. Here's the effectiveness of max HP upgrades. And, I mean, I think to some lesser degree, this game falls short a little bit in regards to getting that feeling anyway. The only thing I ever generally remember is the gun. And maybe like one or two perks, but most of the perks are... There's the Obolite Extractor, which is something I want to spec towards. Greatly increases max integrity, but does increase the chance of finding malignant items. That was tough. My HP is decent right now. If I found that later on in the run, I think I'd go for it 100%, but right now it's like a little risky. Because we're still in the beginning stages. We're doing decent, but doing decent means nothing in this game. Anything can just one-shot you. Well, not anything can one-shot you. Okay. This is an interesting gun. What the shit? It's amazing? Holy shit. What is this gun? This went from being like mild trash town to absolutely demolishes everything in its path. Boy. That was something. Alright. I guess I know what I'm using for a while. It's interesting. You know, I'm complaining about how the runs have a lack of identity, but the weapons are incredible. Let's see. Collect a parasite. Yeah, one's probably worth it. I mean, we could easily go back to the previous parasite and just grab that one. That's not a terrible idea, and I might just go for that. Oh, Narrow Maw. Narrow Maw is the one that gives it the much tighter spread. Ah, I want it, but I want to use this gun, because this gun actually has promise. I'll pick up the shotgun when I have nothing better. What are you? No, it's just an ether. Wasn't sure if it was going to give me something fancy. But, you know, despite my grumps with this game, the weapons are incredible. Like, they're so fun to use and so unique and interesting and vibrant. And the risk-reward system is good. Oh, that's locked. Nope. No dice on that one. And I think I just always loop back to the fact that I'm not sure if this game should have been a roguelike. I'm not sure what it should have been. Because I like the repetition of it. Let's see, extra proficiency rate. Yeah. Because this is the kind of game that I actually would just load up for fun for a while. I think, honestly, if it just had been Remnant from the Ashes, you know, make it a linear game with a bunch of, like, a bunch of really cool and memorable boss fights, and, like, interesting areas to explore, I think that would have been better. It was like, the core gameplay loop is just so unbelievably solid that I can't help but, you know, sing its praises as like, a really good game. Do we grab that parasite? It's, like, back in here. I was really hoping I'd find a parasite in here. Big nope. I'll double check. This gun's real cool because it never cools down. You just have to make sure you're not shooting at anything too far away. And nothing. Alright. So where is it again? Oh, it's down the triangle door. I should probably keep popping these open, as they're loaded with money. I mean, it's like 3. But you know what? 3 money actually stacks up. Because it's 3 money times... I mean, I've already popped open, what? 3 or 4 eggs in here with money? It was only 2. I'm not paying attention. I've got a light headache, so it's just kind of like, eh. I don't know why I had the harebrained idea of playing this game with a headache, but here we are, and it's actually not going too bad. I'm sure it's going to go much worse when I get to the Frost Zone. Frost Zone usually wrecks me. It's super tempting to actually just not. You know, skip the Frost Zone entirely and not go to it because it's... You know, it's dangerous and potentially can end the run. The flip side... Oh. Forget oh. It's fine. I forgot. There's this room over here. If it matters.
The astronaut overhead.
Okay. I wasn't sure if I should grab Shell for that one, because I do want to show her stuff when it's relevant. Oh. Which, on that note, I should check if I can go in the house. I wasn't able to go back into the house for the longest time, but I bet I can go in it now. Is this another... This was, but 2 malfunctions and detach. If we had the one where cleansing malfunctions gave max integrity, I mean, one, we would have picked up a lot of max HP off of this already. But alas, maybe it'll show up later. Can I read this now? Memories of family are severed. Leprosy of the mind that sees an astronaut. Life built on maybes, constantly on the verge of reaching Helios, watching me enter the house before. Descent to Underworld? Okay, let's see if I can warp back to house and then maybe grab Shell, because I bet I can go inside it now. Yeah, she'll show up specifically for the plot segments, because I can play this game on my own and actually have fun with it, and it's honestly a little easier for me to do solo commentary when things are hard. Shell's much more of a story kind of gal, and I can't blame her. Because honestly, especially when you're sitting in the back seat, yep, we can go in. Especially when you're sitting in the back seat, gameplay might not be the most exciting thing ever. I wonder if we complete the story if it gives us access to those 3 chests up there. Because I keep looking for a glowing orb in this room, and I'm not seeing one, but I know there's chests up there. Or there's something up there.